Well, hello everybody. It's so good to be back with y'all again. Today, I am going to give you a video all about blister prevention for the Camino. This is a topic that's talked about a lot, as I'm sure many of you have read in the Facebook groups or even talked with other pilgrims on the Camino. So I'm going to share all my tips about blister prevention. And for me, I did the Camino Frances, and I also walked to Murcia and Finisterre, and I had no blisters, none whatsoever. So I'm going to share with you tips I heard, things I learned along the way, and hopefully some of these tips help you out. So number one, before I get into any of the creams or any of the socks and the footwear, train as much as you can before you set out for the Camino. If you can walk anywhere from 3 to 5 hours any given day, that'll prepare your feet for all the wear and tear that they will get when doing the Camino. The average day of walking on the Camino, you will do 5 hours of walking, which is about 25 kilometers if you're doing 3 miles an hour. So train as much as you can. Also for shoes, the most popular shoes that I saw on the Camino that people liked, and I wore one of these pairs, were the Hoke Speedgoat 5s, and I'm going to put links in the description of this video. I wore the Hoke Speedgoat 5s. I have wider feet, so I selected the wide shoe on their website. But there was also a lot of people wearing Brooks Cascadia. So both shoes, I've heard good things about the Brooks as well. I go jogging with a pair of Brooks. I love them. As far as trail runners, I like the Hoke Speedgoat 5s. And then when you're doing the Camino, stretch before you set out. It is worth taking 5 minutes to stretch. Get your quads, your hamstrings, your hips, your lower back, your calves, your ankles a little bit. Stretch all those areas, because I promise you, if you do not stretch those areas, you are going to feel it while walking on the Camino. And lastly, before I get into the footwear, make sure you hydrate. If you are hydrating, that also helps prevent blisters as well. And speaking of water, I did not wear Gore-Tex shoes or anything that was rain prevention. It did rain a couple days. You can dry out your shoes, stuff newspaper inside your shoes. A lot of hostels have newspapers, and usually the sun comes out for a decent part of the day. So that was never a problem. But yeah, I would not get Gore-Tex shoes, because if you're trapping more moisture inside your shoes, that can increase the chances of you getting blisters. And I walked in July mostly, so it really didn't rain at all until you get into Galicia. In Galicia, it's like the Pacific Northwest. You never know when it's going to rain there. Anyways, onto the footwear and things I use. As far as socks go, I really love Balega socks, as well as Darn Tough. You can get these at REI, on Amazon. These socks were amazing. Usually I just buy a standard 4-pack of Under Armour socks, which are a little bit less money. I think I'm going to stop doing that, because they tear up so much quicker, even just from standard wear, and those are usually the socks I wear at work. I cannot speak highly enough of Balega and Darn Tough. I don't think you can go wrong with either. There were some people mentioning these in Gingy, probably saying the name wrong, these toe socks. I did not like these whatsoever. I trained with each of these socks before I left. These toe socks gave me blisters before the Camino, a couple weeks before. And where I got the blisters is actually right here. So maybe I had the socks too tight on my feet, I'm not sure. But I had blisters right in the crevice of my toes, which really sucks and is about the worst place you can get a blister or a paper cut. So for me, I don't like them. If you wear these and you train and it feels fine on your feet, all our feet are different, you know, do what works for you. So as far as the creams and stuff, and I think this is probably day to day the biggest reason why I didn't get blisters. When I started out, and again, I'll put links to these below, I put this Haiku cream on my feet every single day. I would put it around my ankles to the bottoms of my feet, in between my toes, and it really, really helped. By the end, when my shoes were starting to wear down after I walked about 700 miles, you know how the shoe fabric kind of wears down in the back of your ankle by the lower part of your Achilles tendon? That part can really suck. Thankfully I had these socks, but I would put the cream all over. One tube lasted me the whole Camino. I still have some left. This Hydrate stuff is awesome. This is just for other parts of your body. This Body Glide anti-chafe balm. You know where you have to put this stuff. I'm not going to say it on this video, but it's just like a tiny deodorant stick, and every day before I walk I use this, and if you have any chafing issues, this stuff is awesome. So if I didn't use this, I would feel it. This stuff was great for your other regions of your body where the sun doesn't shine. Once you are done with the Camino, or I'm not sure if I mentioned this, make sure you're stretching during your breaks. So if you take a break at your 2-hour, 4-hour mark through your walk, make sure you are stretching. Even if it's a couple little stretches for the parts of your body that really hurt, that helps. And spend the time stretching once you get done. A lot of times when people get done, including myself, you just want to check in, get to the showers first, wash your laundry before everyone else, get the good spots to hang your clothes in the sun. I get that. It is worth making sure that you stretch before you take a nap, do those things, go for the night, because it does help you for your next day. The last stuff, and this is probably the best stuff, it's a lot like Vaseline. If you've ever had tattoos, you may have used this. It's called Aquaphor. Again, it's very similar to Vaseline. I swear this stuff is even better. I've used Vaseline, I've used this. This has helped with any sort of chafing problems, foot problems, anything like that, a ton. And after you shower and your feet are dry, put this stuff on just like you did the Hydrate. This stuff is amazing. And again, for me, I had zero problems. I know people who have lots of problems with blisters, and once they started using, whether it's Vaseline or this, after their hikes, it really made a big difference. So those are my tips for not getting blisters on the Camino. Again, I had no blisters whatsoever. And yeah, I think that about covers it. If the shoes, when you get done with your walks, if the shoes become a problem, I always change out of my shoes into a pair of sandals, just to let my feet breathe while I was just walking around whatever town, village, small city for the rest of the day, and that really helped too. I got some Tevas, but yeah, just get whatever sandals you like. Some people even would walk the last hour in their sandals as well. Not a pair of flip-flops, but a pair of sandals that hug onto your feet like shoes would. So yeah, hope you don't get any blisters on your Camino if you follow these tips and tricks, and buen Camino.